right, let's see. Cool beans. I might switch this today to this way. Hey, Treff IG. Hey, JIG. Let's see what's a better angle for us. Trying to get us. There we go.
All right, you're now on Facebook. You're live.
I'm on Facebook too. I'm on everything. I'm on Treff IG, JIG, Facebook. Oh man, we live and lit. This looks super dope. I'm gonna take a picture of this right here. This is the innovation that we come to the table with here. Super dope. I'm gonna take a picture of this. I got to. This is great. But again, welcome Treff IG, JMIG, Facebook, Instagram, all you all. It's Tulsa Talks Daily. I'm the most pumped up that I've been probably all year. Let's see. Boom. All right, I'm the most pumped up I've been all year as we are coming to a countdown. 5 days left. 5 days left for the final capital raise of the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund. An idea birthed in my head, a vision God gave us through me to unite us economically through group economics. In 2015, I got this vision in New York doing a Freddie Gray panel, and I walked this vision down until 2018, June 1st, our historic launch on June 1st, the anniversary of the Black Wall Street bombing. And now we are in 2020. And in under 2 years, have raised over $8.75 million, $8,750,000 of capital. We've built a stabilized portfolio value, as stabilized value of $12.8 million of our portfolio. We've developed the 30,000 square foot phase one of the Black House on a 2.6 acre campus, 2 miles from Tyler Perry Studios, 5 minutes from the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. We developed this together out of the birth of an idea and with our community taking action. When I say our community, I mean the human community, all those who believe in the advancement of the underserved, of us bringing capital to the urban communities. We've been able to fund several Black and minority development companies, nearly $1 million of capital to 2 Black women-led firms, Black female-led firms, development firms. We've been able to also buy back the block, over 2 square blocks of 98 units of housing and rental units in Macon, Georgia. We've been able to unite Treff investors in 22 different countries globally. Treff has raised $8.75 million from nearly 10,000 prospective co-owning partners, not donors, not donation, investment partners and co-owners of our company. We've raised over $8,750,000 from 22 countries around the globe in real life. 21st century group economics through the global diaspora. We've raised over $8,750,000, and it's the last chance for anyone to invest in our store company is April 29th at midnight. As we continue to do this work, we've also created nearly 100 jobs, most of which have went to minority contractors, vendors, and staff members. Nearly 100 jobs that we created in under 2 years. We've also, this $8.75 million number is just $1.5 million or so shy of the equivalent of what Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line raised in 1920. They raised $800,000, which is equivalent to $10.3 million today, considering inflation. So we are just $1.5 million shy, approximately, from surpassing Marcus Garvey's equivalent raise back in 1920, which was the largest raise by a Black-owned company for the execution of group economics in real life. And so we are the second in history largest Black-owned real estate or Black-owned group economics equitable economics company. And within this century, we are the first and largest Black-owned real estate crowd fund this century, right? So those are some of our Treff facts. I'm a little hot, one, because I have a sweater on and it's like spring now. I'm also a little hot because I refuse to turn the AC on in a 30,000 square foot building, all because I'm here. So I'm a cheap, I won't say cheap, I'm frugal and financially responsible. So I'm not gonna turn the AC on in the whole building and run up our AC bill, all because I gotta do this. So y'all gotta mind me, you know I sweat anyway. I got my wealth rag. I'm gonna be, patting myself in a wealth rag because we're not gonna run up this AC in this 30,000 square foot building, all because we gotta do a live stream today. So we're gonna do it old school style and act like we out the hood from the mud. And that, you know, we ain't gonna turn that air on. You know what your mom said back in the day? You better put the fan on, open a door, a window. We ain't turning the air on. So we wanna make sure we are good financial stewards of our fund's capital. And, you know, we take full responsibility of the execution and operation of this building. You understand, we are putting this, we, not me, we are putting this on our back, right? We are putting this on our back. That's all of us, all 10,000 plus prospective partners, all global partners, all companies, all families, small businesses who signed up to say, I want to be a part of this company. I want to be a part of this movement. And so I'm super excited. Yesterday, we actually toured our founders wall, 8,600 names on our founders wall. We have a phase 2 wall coming in the back. So all new investors, here's a clip, here's a marketing clip, King Gene, King Calvin, King Clint, here's a marketing clip. Listen, guys, all new Tulsa Real Estate Fund co-owning partners and investors will have their family name, their business name, or however you invest, that name will be subscribed on our phase 2 legacy wall in our 20,000 square foot media space, extension of our office space in the back of our building. So you all seen the 8,600 plus names on our founders wall in our foyer, where we're giving everyone an opportunity to get your name cemented, right, and memorialized in our phase 2 legacy wall, right, in our phase 2 of our building. So if you want if you want to be a part of this historic movement, you want to be eligible for your 8% preferred returns and your potential profits. And if you want to be part of this company, again, investwithtref.com, but that also will get you your name in our building on our legacy wall. So that's for all new investors and partners. I want to take some question and answers today. I don't want to talk too much. Today's topic was investing in real estate during or after the crisis. I'm gonna be real short about that. And I want to open up a Q&A. Listen, it's real simple. We have a company that we launched June 1st, 2018, so under 2 years ago. I gave you some of our facts and stats about what we actually accomplished. Our company is not closing. Our company is not going bankrupt. Our company is not in disarray or distress. We are simply having our final capital raise so that we can stop raising capital, therefore be in a compliant position to offer dividends and distributions as we become profitable, because our counsel says, our legal counsel says, it is a scary, hairy compliance line if we are continuing to raise capital and try to offer distributions at the same time. That's how folks get caught in what's called a Ponzi scheme, is because they bring in new capital and they pay old investors off new investors' capital. You cannot do that. That's illegal. And so to walk a clear line, especially under the scrutiny of the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in American history, we want to walk the clearest lines as we can in compliance. And so we're stopping our capital raise, we're ending it, we're terminating it, we're stopping our security offerings, what it's called, April 29th at midnight. And then we will get forward with the capital we raised, the $5 million of assets approximately that we have that are free and clear with no mortgage. We have a portfolio value of $12.8 million, as I expressed, with our nearly $1 million plus liquid cash that we're sitting on. We're going to go out and continue to do the work of group economics, loaning money, lending money, partnering in deals, developing assets, buying back the block, and doing what we've been doing, operating our company, right? So that's what we have offered. We have 12 TREF facts you can find at investwithtref.com. We have transparency of our financial audit at investwithtref.com, our disclosures, our SEC, the agreements for our company at investwithtref.com. That's where you'll find frequently asked questions, videos teaching about how the fund works. Many of your questions will be found at investwithtref.com, as well as the invest button to start your process to be a part of a partner in this company. So when it comes to investing in real estate after this crisis, this global pandemic, what we're excited about as a company is we know that after financial crisis or the threat of financial crisis and, and in markets of uncertainty, we know that that uncertainty in markets many times creates a depreciation or a discount of assets in the market. Particularly, we're talking about real estate, right? Real estate assets. So we know as we get well capitalized, so what I mean by well capitalized, meaning all the new capital that we raise, that you guys, many of you will be a part of, the new and our older existing investors and partners, you all can invest more at this time. So all the new capital we raise, plus the fact that we have nearly 5 million in assets with no mortgage on them, free and clear, that will either be coming back from loans that we've given out, that will be cashing back to us, liquidating to us, or leveraging buildings like the Legacy Center with debt, and we could get $1 million or $2 million mortgage on this asset. So we can take all of our assets and our capital at disposal, and we can go invest that into this market, which we expect to depreciate, dip, decline, right? Or be at a discount in this future real estate market. So this puts us at a strong position if we go to the land banks, the city auctions, we go build with all the relationships that I've created throughout the country with different aldermen, councilmen, mayors, governors, etc. So we can leverage the capital we have, or the success of our portfolio and our experience to now take this capital into a new climate and market where it's not so much a seller's market. The last few years have been a seller's market in real estate. Well, now we'll have the ability to go out into what'll be, we estimate to be more of a buyer's market, meaning it benefits the buyer more, and we can be that cash buyer as a Tulsa Real Estate Fund, or you can be the cash buyer and we can be your cash backing partner, right? So that's the other part. Remember, I'm not interested in developing all the assets. I got enough stuff going on, but I am interested in seeing how we can fund your projects or partner with you and your syndications like we did with our 98 units in Macon, Georgia with King EJ. Like we did with Queen Saran, her 14 units in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Like we did with the Queen down on Myro Street, Queen Kira, on her 7-unit development down out in Louisiana. Like we did with King Paul on a 3-property bundle in Cincinnati on a bundle mortgage. Like we did with King Phil on his Nashville fix and flip. Like we did with King Flip on his Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia Buckhead fix and flip. So this is the excitement of our opportunity, is that we can all raise capital together and be a part of creating jobs, of deploying capital, of privately lending, and developing beautiful assets that look like this, right? And do that in real life and make historical impact, social impact, right? Be an example to our community. That's the other part we don't talk about, is the example that we are setting for our community at large. So what I'm super excited about, and why I believe God gave me the journey and testimony that he gave me, is that, I was saying this yesterday, is that when you look at a Jay Morrison, somebody that was born to a teenage mom, 17 years old, my mom literally got off the abortion table to have me, right? She had the pressure of my grandfather and grandmother wanting her to abort because she was a teenage mom, and that wasn't what our family wanted for her, right? So that's my crisis anniversary from the beginning. Then going to her being kicked out of the house and being a teenage or single mom. My father left at 3 months, so she's on her own, and going through welfare, going through WIC, going through Section 8, going through government housing, going through Goodwill for hand-me-down clothes, going through all the adversity that I went through growing up, going through visiting my father in prison, going through abuse, emotional and physical abuse, going through drug abuse in my home, going through me dropping out of high school at 16, going through my 10-year stint in the streets, right? Going down a wrong track, going through 2.5 years in prison, 3-time felon, going through work release, parole, probation, ankle monitors, all that, to get into real estate in 2002 on parole, to full-time get into it at 2005, to make millions in real estate, be financially irresponsible, blow that, get divorced, depressed, bankrupt, broke, bounce back, find my purpose, and go through all these life trials and tribulations. What I'm getting at is this, is that if I, as a regular man, right, I bleed like all of us, right? We all have our talents and gifts, but we all are human beings. So with me, with all my imperfections, in all my life's journey, in all my obstacles of the test and trials that God put before me, so for me to be able to get through all that and much more, and still be in position to be the first, to be the CEO and fund manager, the fiduciary of the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America, that should be inspiration for many of those in our communities and families who have been through, or have family that have been through all kinds of trials and tribulations, that have been through bankruptcies, that have been through divorces, that have been through prison, that have been through probation, that have been through poverty, that have been through, my daughter, I was a teenage dad. My daughter was born when I was 18 years old, and I was in prison. So I was in prison when my daughter was born. That cycle was starting to repeat itself, where I grew up visiting my stepfather in prison. My daughter, her first time seeing me was me being in prison. But now my daughter, who's 20 years old, now going to one of the top colleges in the country, can see me now in a different light as a fund manager, as a CEO, as an activist, as a leader, as a real estate expert. So what we are doing, again, as a company, as a group, is that we are setting an example for future generations of how we don't have to be disconnected by our adversity, by our skin tone, by our skin color, our financial backgrounds, our geographical backgrounds, right? We have investors and partners from 22 different countries. We have investors from all walks of life. We have white investors, Asian investors, Indian investors, Hispanic or Latino investors, right? So this is a perfect example. I won't say perfect. This is a great example, in my opinion, of what it looks like to come past and get past these others' differences and focuses on our commonality. Many times we don't want unity, we want uniformity. We want everyone to act like us, everyone to look like us, everyone to have the same religion as us, everyone to speak the same language as us, everyone to maneuver like us. That's uniformity. But what we're promoting is unity, saying, hey, Jay might be a little loud. Jay might be a little rambunctious and charismatic sometimes. Jay might be who Jay Morrison is and how God created Jay. That's different than how God created you. But Jay and I do have a similar, right? And Queen EJ and our other 9,700 plus partners, we do have a similar commonality of either we like real estate. We always thought of owning commercial real estate. We want to own apartment complexes. We want to improve our community. We want to fund deals in our community. We want to practice group economics. We want to live out Marcus Garvey's legacy. We want to support the honoring of Tulsa, Oklahoma's Black Wall Street through the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Somewhere in all of that, we have a commonality. And that's what this fund is about, is focusing on what we have in common and what unifies us and what advances us and what progresses us, as opposed to what divides us. Yeah, we can certainly find many things to disagree on. I mean, we could do that all day. But what about the things that we can certainly agree on as a community at large, as a human race at large, leveraging economic unity through a regulated and transparent fund, right? Remember, our financial audits of our fund, no matter what anyone says, the financial audits of our fund can be found at sec.gov. They can be found on investwithtreff.com, and you can literally see the full financial reports of our fund. So there doesn't have to be a misconception or a vague notion of what happened with the capital raise of over $8.7 million. You can see our actual portfolio and the value of our portfolio and the asset value, you know what I mean, right? You can see these things. And we give you, as best we can, a clear, transparent vision of where we see ourselves going over the coming years. This is a long-term investment. So for our future or current investment partners, remember, it's a long-term investment. We offer an 8% cumulative return, meaning any year it's not paid, it still adds up to the following year. It's a cumulative return. And future share of 50% of the profits we offer our investors, right? Not as a donation, but as a partnership, co-ownership. But we have to remember, commercial real estate takes time, especially Class A office buildings, especially apartment complexes, especially private lending takes time. When we loan out $500,000 to, or $472,000 to just say, to fund Queen Saran's 14 units, we loaned that out. It took us a year of her making mortgage payments and her stabilizing her property, doing her development and construction, for her to inevitably pay us back, in which we made a 34% plus return, right? And that was with us doing a creative financing because no one would finance her deal. She went to several lenders and they all denied her or tried to actually take her deal from her. So we came in at the last minute with a month left and creatively funded and financed her transaction. Queen Kia out on Myra Street in New Orleans. She came to us and we were able to 100% finance her deal, 100% financing. Same for King Flip, 100% financing, where he went to the closing table with no money out of pocket, not even for closing costs. So we're creating responsible, creative funding opportunities for our people, and that's what we expect to do coming out of this crisis as well. It's for us to raise capital together and then be able to deploy that capital responsibly and creatively to our urban and minority development firms, right? So that's a little bit of our strategy. And we want you guys to be a part of, again, we're not promising perfection. We're not promising, what we can promise is the best integrity that we can offer. We're promising the best progress we can offer. We're promising the best intentions that we can have. And we're promising the best progress from our best efforts in this fund. It's a new fund. We are the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in history. There's less than 100 real estate crowdfunds in the country, right? From our last research was 47 real estate crowdfunds in the country. I said less than 100, just so I'm accurate in case there was anything new created since I last checked. So we're talking about a new concept of the Reg A Tier 2 or the Reg A Plus Tier 2 crowdfund, which allows working class, non-accredited families and wealthy individuals, accredited families, and businesses, institutions to invest together. And so we're pioneering and trailblazing something. And as you see behind me, we are doing our best in development. And again, you're talking about buying back the block. We're here in East Point, Georgia. This community has a poverty rate of nearly 42%. We'll be resurrected a Class A building here as a media hub, as a affordable shared workspace for small businesses to lease, as well as an economic empowerment center, business empowerment center, right? We have some cool plans coming out of this crisis where we're going to be, I don't want to give out the play, but we're going to be doing some cool incentives in our own stimulus package. We have a Black House Legacy Center stimulus package. We're going to be offering the small businesses of the Atlanta community. We're going to be announcing that in the next 30 days. We're going to be doing our part to make sure that we are, not the White House, the Black House, is offering stimulus and opportunity and resources to our local Atlanta community. This is us taking our destiny into our own hands. This is the vision of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. This is the vision of many of our ancestors you see plaqued on these walls. And so I said all that. We're going to have to be short today, but I want to get some Q&A. As you know, we're still in quarantine, although the Georgia governor said, the state is opened up for business. We not them fools. So we are not open for business just yet. We're going to sit back and watch and see how this non-social distancing goes and this non-quarantine goes. So I am working all the phones and cameras and devices myself. I have no team around me, no help. I'm a one-man band as a CEO, spokesman, fund manager, and all that, and IT guy. So I need you guys to bear with me, but I will be taking on some Q&A from our live stream here on Facebook and our live streams on Instagram and anywhere else we're at. We'll take some Q&A you guys got. Remember, it's investwithtreff.com. That's your opportunity to invest in our historic fund, investwithtreff.com, and be a partner, a co-owner of our company and the assets within our company. And if I gotta teach it, I got a whiteboard right here that I need to do to break it down and teach it. So I'm gonna do that. As you guys ask questions, please ask your fresh questions now. I'm gonna bring my whiteboard over in case I need it. Hold on. We'll take live Q&A, anything on Tulsa Real Estate Fund, any clarity you need. We are happy to be transparent. We encourage tough questions. You don't gotta give us softball questions, but we encourage your questions to be from a place of building, a place of love, a place of unity, and not a place of diversion, distraction, or any of those kind of tactics, right? This is us figuring out solutions for our community and communities and economic unity. And the goal is to practice that in real life, right? That's our commitment. Cool. So let's go to some questions.
King Jay, be sure to open up the chat message in that Zoom.
I got to open it up?
Yep.
I did, I thought, no? What do I do? How do I open the chat message up, brother?
Yep. When you open up Zoom, when you mouse over Zoom, you'll see chat at the bottom. Okay,
I see privately. Okay, Tulsa. Let me see. All right, guys, I'm on my IT thing right now. Hold on. I'm hitting hit the three dot. That says save chat privately. Tulsa Fund. All panelists and attendees.
There it is.
Boom. I'm an IT expert right now. I just want to say that. All right, everybody can tap in. I'm an IT expert. Let's go to social media real quick. We're taking questions on IG Live. Let's see. Let's see. Are you able to fund multifamily FHA? We cannot fund owner-occupied opportunities, meaning any opportunity where the owner is going to be living there, we do not fund those deals, only investment deals. FHA deals are for primary residence or owner occupants, so we will not be funding FHA deals. We can fund 1 units to 4 units or condos or anything else or single families, but only as investments, not as owner occupied purchases. Good question. How can I get started? Anybody get started? Investwithtref.com. Investwithtref, T-R-E-F.com is how we get started. Let me type that in for us real quick on both phones. Man, I'm so hot right now. I know I look like a madman, but it's the cost of doing business. Investwithtref.com. Thank you guys for your patience and just thank you for your support, man. The community is showing so much love. It's not tref.com, pin. Investwithtref.com got you in there. What's the minimum requirements for business loans? We don't do business loans here. I'll tap it in. www.investwithtref.com. One man band, Jay. I'm telling you, I get like Jordan in the 4th quarter. I'll do it all. I'll sweep the floors. I'm not bougie. I'll do the IT. I'll do the videos. I drove myself here. I had no driver. That's the hardest part, driving. Jeez, I'm a horrible driver. All right, boom. We got that pinned. King Jim will take any Facebook questions. Now I'm on Instagram. How do donating $500 help me and should donate me to see a good return? So let's kill that language. It is not a donation. Our community is so used to donating and collection plates and GoFundMes and Kickstarters. It's not a donation. It is an investment at $50 per share or member unit, minimum 10 shares or member units, meaning minimum $500. And how does it benefit you? So let's talk about that. Great question. All right, the benefit of a $500 plus investment. Remember, that's the minimum. The minimum is $500. You certainly can invest more. The benefits are, 1, the 8% preferred return, right? We call it PREF. And it's preferred cumulative return, meaning it adds up over the year. So that's one benefit, is that on your $500 investment, every year, annually, you are due, or we'll call it owed, $40, which is equivalent to 8% of your $500. So when you think about all the liabilities you spent $500 on, things that you spent $500 on that you'll never see back, that you never even thought of. Those shoes, that bag, that belt, those bottles, that vacation, that whatever, with that same $500, you are eligible and to be owed $40 annually, cumulative adding up every year for your investment to the fund. Another one, you are also due 50% of future fund profits. So after we pay back all of our investors 8% on our fund, any remaining profits are split 50-50 with all the partners and the management company. So we do good real estate deals, good business deals, and we break bread. After investors get 8%, any future profits, you still get more on top of the 8%. And that's broken up again. So 50% of the profit. So if we made, just say, $1 million in profits at the end of 4 years or whatever it might be, then that million would be split 500,000, right? So 50% of that, or 500,000, would then be broken down extra to all the investors. Now, another benefit of why not donate, but invest and have ownership in the company is that same point, ownership. Equity, right? Having an asset, a long-term investment for your heirs. How many long-term investments do you have for your heirs, right? How many investments do you have that are long-term for your family and for your last name? And then with those investments, how many of those investments have social impact? How many places do you have $500, $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000? How many places do you have direct social impact? 100 jobs created in the last 2 years. Nearly 90% went to minority developers, vendors, and staff members, contractors. Class A office building in the hood of East Point. 98 units, over 2 square blocks in Macon, Georgia, rental units. Nearly $1 million funded to Black female developers. Several other Black developers funded through our deal. How many investments do you have direct social impact? Historical impact. How many investments that you are part of that you can say to your family when you're, however, 50 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now, you can say, hey, we were a part of the legendary Black House in Atlanta, Georgia. We owned part of the Black House. How many times do we talk about the morale and the, what I call, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a morale, and it is a, I'm just call it morale boost. But there is, and there should be, some kind of, for your family, some kind of boost to be able to ride by the Black House anytime you visit Atlanta and say, hey, that's our building right there, and come see your building right there. How many times you say to your family, I don't care if it's 0.001% of fractional ownership you have, just like Jay-Z owned 0.0 whatever percent of the Nets, Brooklyn Nets. He still is proud owner of the Nets. How many times can you say to your family, we own a Class A office building that was developed by a Black-owned company that we were a part of? How many times can you say to your family, we own a 98-unit apartment complex? That should be a morale boost for your children, for your wife, for your spouse, for your mother, for your grandmother, to say, Grandma, you know what you guys fought for in civil rights and human rights? Well, I'm a part of the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America, and look at what we did, Grandma, off the sweat and tears and blood of what you all sacrificed. So you ask me what benefits? Benefits are living out a legacy of ownership, of group economics. Another benefit, honoring the legacy of Black Wall Street and of Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line and the UNIA. Part of my writing. With our fund, we are living out our ancestors' wildest dreams, in my opinion. With our fund, we are honoring the history of Black Wall Street. Our fund is named Tulsa Real Estate Fund, not because we're in Tulsa, because we are living out a modern day Black Wall Street vehicle and model. The legendary Greenwood community that Booker T. Washington called Negro Wall Street, AKA Black Wall Street, that was burned down and bombed and massacred on June 1st of 1921, nearly 100 years ago. We have now honored that model 100 years later by creating this vehicle of economic unity and empowerment. Also honoring Marcus Garvey and his legacy, #ChasingGarvey, who raised $800,000 of capital during the Spanish flu in 1920, and now 100 years later, look how God works, look how the universe works, look how the Creator aligns things. 100 years later, during COVID-19, we are now just $1.5 million shy of raising the equivalent of what Marcus Garvey raised, counting inflation already. The equivalent of what Garvey and the Black Star Line raised in 1920 during the Spanish flu, we're $1.5 million shy of surpassing or at least meeting the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line. They had the Black Star Line, we got the Black House. So you talk about why an investment. Mind you, none of these things, financially or historically or socially, may excite you or may motivate you. And that's fine. That means you're not fit to be a part of our company. That's fine. Our company is for everybody. Our company is for those who are excited by these economic opportunities, these social opportunities, these historical opportunities. We talked about the 100 jobs created. You're part of stimulating the local economy. We talked about nearly $1 million, right? 1 million to Black female developers. We talked about several million to Black-owned development firms all throughout the country. Black-owned developers, several million. These are all part of the reasons why you may consider wanting to be a part of our company. Let's see what other questions we got.
You checking the chat?
They can't see it. They say it's like a mirror to them. That's messed up. Gene?
They got to get to Facebook to see it.
If you guys go to Facebook, it's clear. So if you go to Mr. J. Morrison Facebook, you can see all this clear.
Tulsa Real Estate Fund Facebook.
Tulsa Real Estate Fund Facebook.
Our Legacy Center Facebook.
My bad. I mean, listen, I told you I'm a one-man band right now. So go to Facebook, is there. Let's go to Facebook, is there. This shirt is, by the way, this shirt is about Black Money Matters. Shout out to Black Money Matters in real life. My brother Demetrius, Black Money Matters, money bag shirt.
Can you see the chat messages?
I don't see, no, read these for me, King. None new popped up.
Okay. Andre Cherry says, how much you have? Well, you said that.
I could do this. I can flip the camera this way. I got us, y'all. Thank you for, see, teamwork, man. Teamwork make the dream work. Watch this.
You're not going to read the comments.
Hold on. I got it. Genius. See? Black excellence. Black excellence never fails. Hold on. Boom. 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 Hold on, y'all. I got us. See, good recommendation, family. Good recommendation. Boom, we lit. Bro, okay. I'm so hot right now. Do I look as hot as I feel?
No, you don't look that bad.
Good. I'm happy about that. I don't look that bad. What time we got, Gene? Because I have another panel. Guys, I'll be at the source. I'm doing a panel at 6 p.m. on COVID-19, hosted by my son, the General, Tamika Mallory, Riza Islam, 19 Keys, Derek Grace, Erica Ford, King Trader Truth, King Wallow, and a bunch of other community influencers and servants to our community. We're all doing a panel together on Corona in the Hood at the Source Magazine Facebook. You'll see the post on our feed. I want you guys to join that at 6 p.m. if you can. We're talking about solutions from COVID-19. But Gene, what time we got right now?
5:48.
All right, guys. So I got about 3 to 5 more minutes of this. Gene, give me some questions. Let's go.
Evelyn Sugar asks, will the Tulsa Real Estate Fund LLC is or be listed on the Dow?
Tulsa Real Estate Fund LLC may in the future be listed on the Dow or some exchange. That is an option for us to go to the exchanges. Yep, we have talked about that in the future. Yep. Tangela
Ford asks, can you become an accredited investor by investing in TREF? In other words, can we get the net worth credit?
That's a great question. As TREF performs and produces profits for you, or equity, cash flow, etc., I believe from a net worth perspective, you would be able to use your investment. And I would double check that with your accountant or CPA, but I believe that you could use this investment as a part of your net worth. I mean, net worth is all about your value of assets minus your liabilities and debt equals your net worth. So this fund and company, as it performs as an asset, I believe would be a part of your net worth for sure. Good or bad. And remember, it's not guaranteed. I want to say it to everyone. of course, we're going to give our best effort, but any investment is not a guaranteed investment. So I don't want to set those expectations. Our job is to do our best to be able to perform as a company, as a group. What you got, Gene?
How do we make money after investing? You answered that with the board. Fo Otseps says, after investing, how does someone get started with acquiring properties?
So after investing, if anyone wants to learn how to acquire properties yourself, one, we offer trainings at jay-morrison-academy.com, some of the best real estate, business, and credit training in the world. which will teach you everything about evaluating deals, building a team, contracts, negotiations, finding the best deals, all that, flips, landlord, home ownership, all that's taught in our school, building your LLC, private capital, understanding financing, all that's taught at jay-morrison-academy.com through our RBC curriculum. If you guys are looking for funding from TREF or partnership opportunities, that you will go to tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. After the 29th, we'll have our new site up. We'll be collecting opportunities for deals. Someone said, as a realtor, can I sign up with your team? We always looking for opportunities and team members. There's no direct place just for a realtor, unless we are doing something in your local market, but you definitely can be stay in a loop and be aligned with us for any opportunities in your market. If you find any great opportunities you think that would be a discount or value add for the fund, please submit those. So let's see IG Live questions. I can't read you this way, so let me see IG Live, what you guys got. Okay, I'm gonna cover returns. And someone said 2024. Let's see. Looking for questions, IG. There's no discount if you own properties through the company. Let's see. Looking for questions on IG. Okay, so there's a couple questions on IG. The $500 investment is not a recurring payment. Someone asked, is a recurring payment. It's not a recurring payment. It's an investment at $50 per member unit, minimum 10 units, right? So it's a one-time payment for investment. Someone else asked about, man, I just forgot the question. They asked, let me see. Oh, the due date is April 29th at midnight. It was the minimum. So, our financial model, our fund projects an 8.7% return by 2024. That does not mean that we start paying dividends in 2024. What we're saying is, in our anticipation, is to hopefully be in a position this year to start paying dividends, but we will be caught up on the cumulative return of our dividends at an 8.7% return by 2024, assuming we liquidated all of our assets, which we may not do. I don't think we want to flip and sell everything because then we own nothing. If our community continues to sell all of our assets, we own no assets. But just to give everyone a perspective, as we own and stabilize and appreciate assets, if we were to have a liquidity event or sell them all, our fund will be able to pay back all investors and catch everybody up on all cumulative returns by 2024 at an 8.7% return. So that's a financial projection. But we anticipate, God willing, through performance, being able to start paying out some form of dividend this year. It all depends on how things, and how the market moves, and how things go in this financial climate, being a global pandemic. Please do not act like Jay Morrison is such a superstar that he and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund team are above a global pandemic. Please understand that in many parts of the world, there are financial crises. Please understand that we're looking to raise capital to take advantage of the financial crisis as an investment firm, but please understand that there are challenges. Right now, we have staff in which we're paying, and we can't even operate the building. We have a building which we're paying on, and which we can't offer leases. Right now, we have rental challenges with some of our rental units. That's all part of entrepreneurship. So let's not be, and I want to educate us as best as I can, and encourage us as best as I can, because historically, the government has said that non-accredited investors, those who make less than $250,000 a year or net worth less than $1 million, are not sophisticated enough to invest in these opportunities, which is why we've been boxed out. And so I want us to be at least sophisticated and mature enough to understand that we are investing in a entrepreneurship venture model that's not guaranteed, that has risk, and we're doing so during a global pandemic and potential financial crisis. We got to understand that. But we are putting ourselves in a position to take advantage of the discounts that happen in a financial crisis, but let's not act like it's not going on and that people aren't being laid off and jobs aren't furloughing and businesses aren't struggling as a whole. Let's understand, let's be mature enough to not like be those people where it's like, we can't add 2 and 2 up and know what's really going on in the world, right? I think we are, many of us may not be the most financially sophisticated, but we got common sense. Go to some other questions, and then we're gonna be out. 2 more questions and we're out. Deadline.
And when you come back around, King, if you could just move the board a little closer to the camera. Somebody asked they want to see the board.
All right, so let's add an account anymore. Cool. All right, so someone said, if you already have an account, how do you invest more? If you already have an account, how you invest more, I don't want to be in your guys' way. If you already have an account, how you invest more is by going to investwithtreff.com. You still go through the same process. That's 1. 2, someone asked, so why would anyone invest knowing what's going on? Well, why would you invest during a global pandemic? The reason is because you see the opportunity during the crisis. If you don't see the opportunity during a crisis, do not invest. If you cannot mentally connect that during a crisis, stocks, properties, assets, and things typically go down in value. And if a person, a family, or company is well capitalized, they can take advantage of buying things that are discounted in value. And then when the market recovers, those things appreciate in value, and then that family, company, or person can then cash out, leverage, refinance, or take advantage of the things they bought on discount during the crisis that then went back up to value. If you can't understand that, do not invest in the company. If you understand that, when things go on sale, you buy low and sell high, or you buy low and leverage high. If you understand that concept financially, then you are astute enough to understand what we're doing. If you can't understand that, you shouldn't invest with us. Someone else asked, with our Jay-Morrison-Academy, if you're part of Tulsa-Real-Estate-Fund, you get it for free. No, you don't. These are 2 different companies, 2 different models, 2 different opportunities for you. One is education and learning how to do your own, and one is passively investing with our fund. Don't be logging off. And just one more, we'll take a couple more questions, and then we'll log off. And I'm gonna come back. We do some founders wall later. So all my founders, we're gonna be coming back later. Let's see. All right.
You got 3
so
minutes.
Come back later. Go ahead, Gene.
You got 3 minutes. Thomas Colton asks, who's making money off the real estate rentals and the house being flipped from the money that was invested?
The company, us. That's who's making money. When we rent out property, how do you think we make money? We make money by renting out properties, flipping properties, mortgage payments, fees from loaning money, right? That's all how we make revenue here at the fund. So that's who makes money, Tulsa Real Estate Fund, us. Someone else just asked to break down to 50%. What it is, real quick, and I gotta go. And I'm gonna be back later to tour our founders wall. If all founders want to see their name. The 50%, just look at it as a pie. So if the pie, just say were $100,000, and say that we had 100,000 investors, then that means every investor would get their share of the $100,000. So there's 1,000 investors or partners at $100,000, and everyone would get $1,000. It's prorated, is how it works. So we would take whatever profits over the 8% pref at the end of this fund, and then we would split those profits up. 50%, so if it were $200,000 gross, 50% would go to the management company, $100,000 for doing good work, managing the company and creating these opportunities. And then $100,000 would go to the fund, broken up between our partners. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for Trev Talks today. I'll be back tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Remember, the opportunity is to join our company by April 29th, midnight, investwithtreff.com. We cover many benefits to why you should, much more details, disclosures, portfolio, financials, all of that can be found at investwithtreff.com. And you guys can join our company. Like, it's just a plain and simple opportunity of, do these benefits excite me? What do I have that's long-term for my family? What do I have that gives me an opportunity for 8% preferred returns? What do I have that has social impact, historical impact? Do I even want to be a part of a company like this? Am I interested in group economics? Am I interested in the legacy of our ancestors? Do I believe in Jay and the team? Those are questions you got to ask yourself. And if you can clearly see that there's money, capital, and investment that you spent in liability or in worst investment, and you feel motivated to put that capital towards an opportunity that's not guaranteed, but to be a part of a group and a company that is doing something, what I would say is clearly progressive, or you can view for yourself if it's clearly or not, but it's progressive for our community and for developers and minority and Black-owned developers and creating jobs and all that, that excites you, please join our company, investwithtruff.com. I got to go. Peace. We out. I'll be at the Source Magazine live stream happening like right now. I'm out. Peace.